gross.
But can you imagine, like, if you do lose, like, your sense of smell?
Yeah.
Like, I always think about this. If you lose your sense of smell, that would be, for me, I would be mortified because I wouldn't know if I smelled or not.
I mean, if you showered, I'm sure you wouldn't smell. You put some deodorant.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't smell yourself.
That's true.
Like, if you can't smell anything, how do you know? Like, you could definitely shower, of course, like you shower, but then, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know because, okay, so for example, like armpits. Armpits smell.
Yeah, they do.
They smell, especially when you're sweaty and everything. So when you, like, if you wash, you know, of course, you clean it up. But then when you come out of the shower, you put deodorant. Yeah. And sometimes when you have a hard day, like halfway through the day, you need to reapply it because you kind of, like I always do, like the side smell, like let me smell my armpits. And then you have to reapply it. But if you lose the sense of smell, you can't even, you wouldn't know. Yeah. Can you imagine that?
They should create something where it's like a smell detector, and if it goes red, that means you stink. I know. And green if you're good. That'll be awesome.
You need to invent that.
Yeah.
Who is your Lisa's one of your good friends, right?
Lisa Daniels, yes, she is.
And who's your other?
Tia Cyrus.
Okay. If you were out in the ocean and you could only save one person, would you save Lisa Daniels or Tia Cyrus?
I would save them both, and I would just dive into the water so they can live.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I couldn't choose, so they can live and I'll go.
It'd be like, let me dive in. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself in there.
Yeah.
Would you rather say the wrong name at the altar, or not ever be able to perform again?
Wrong name at the altar, because men come and they go. Oh my God.
Oh, gosh, that is so funny.
I know. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one, actually.
Have you ever said the wrong name? If you're, like, say you're dating someone, have you ever, like, called them the wrong name?
I remember at a ball game I did. I was dating this guy, Arnold, and I screamed Joseph, but thank God it was so loud in there. It was so loud, he didn't notice. So I was saved by that.
Oh, my God.
We were at a...
Were you seeing two guys at the same time?
No, he was actually my fiance prior to him, and I was with him for many years. For some reason, just came out Joseph. So thank God we were at a basketball game, and it was loud. So I got saved by that. Yep.
That's like the worst thing. You never ever want to do that.
I know, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's bad, but.
So what do you like to wear to sleep in?
What do I like to wear? I don't wear anything, to be honest.
It's just commando.
That
is like one of like my guests from yesterday.
Yeah.
The director of like the movie that they're doing, Marijuana, or Guana. It's Guana.
Oh God, cool.
He was saying the same thing. He goes, I like commando. He's like, I totally like to be commando. And I was like, wait, do you work out? He's like, no, but I should. Maybe I really should work out.
Yeah.
And of course I was saying to him, like, okay, so work out first, commando. And then let me know how you feel about it, whether if you're still going to like not wear anything when you don't work out.
It's funny though, because sometimes I would put on a onesie because it gets really cold in the wintertime. So a onesie in the winter, and normally if it's like more or less, springish, summertime, commando for sure.
What would be like an ideal night for you that you would wear? If you had like a partner.
Oh, okay, a partner.
What would you? What's
something
your like favorite?
Lacy, something red, lacy. There's been a study that the color red attracts men the most. So something red for sure. Like a lacy baby doll, a garter, a lacy thong, and lacy nylons.
I love garters.
Yeah,
I think they're
sexy.
Like they're very sexy.
The essentials for sure.
Yeah, that's
definitely
nice.
Yeah. And some heels.
Do you like to wear like really high heels?
It depends. Like if I'm going out for an event, 4 inches for me. I'm petite. I'm only 5 feet tall, so.
You're 5 feet?
I'm only 5 feet tall. 4'11.5" if you want to be precise. Yeah. But I round it up.
That means I'm shrinking too, because
I'll tell you.
I used to be like almost like 5'2" something, like almost 5'3", and now I'm like getting like shorter and shorter. Yes.
No.
Yeah, that happens. I'm like, oh my God, that's not. Yeah, like that's not good. Like I'm shorter, and of course, for me is, as you know, like when you're short, and you put on weight, you look bigger.
Yes, it's true.
And I'm starting to notice that about myself.
Yes, that's very true. You gain 2 pounds and it's like, that's a lot.
Yeah, because you're shorter. Yes. And before, it didn't make a difference. And now I'm kind of like, okay, like I'm starting to look kind of like short and stumpy.
No, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. But I agree. When you're short, you can't gain weight.
No, because then it looks horrible. You look shorter, you look smaller, and then you also look whiter.
Exactly.
Which is not good.
It's not good.
So what is the one thing that you would give guy advice, like guys, if they are... like if they're trying to go out, like if they want to go out on a date with like a woman, what's like the one, like what is like your no-go and like your a must?
I feel like guys should be themselves, not to pretend to be this alter person or, better than what they are or less better. I think they should just be themselves, be true to themselves. I feel like a man who's like that, it's a huge turn on, and someone's honest. Honesty for me, it's not all about looks. Yeah. Just be honest, be yourself, have a good time. Life is short. Don't try to oversell yourself because a girl can tell if you're doing too much. So you just be yourself for sure. And for no-go, don't stare at other girls when you're with, on your first date.
That is so that's true. Turn off. That is a turn off. I don't mind if the guy looks, but just don't stare because then that's just like a turn off.
Exactly.
And it's interesting that you talked about overselling yourself.
Yeah.
I just went on a date.
Did you?
I went on a date because, like I had decided that, like in the past, I never wanted to, like I just didn't really have the time and it just was not the right time. I wasn't ready to date.
Yeah.
2017, I decided, you know what? I think now it's time. My kids are older. They're fine.
Yeah.
I think I need to start now dating. And I think my son wants me to date too because my son's like, Mom, like you need to go on a date. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
So I went on a first date. And this is the guy that it was a mutual friend set us up.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. He oversold himself at dinner.
Oh God.
And my thing always is like if I'm gonna go out with someone, like I've always said, if I'm going on a date with somebody, I'm not gonna do dinner. Like I'm gonna do coffee first to get to know them to see, if
smart
the chemistry.
Yeah.
With this guy, I didn't do that. This guy, I like dove into dinner because he was recommended by a friend.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, maybe it's safe. It was just like a bad idea.
Oh, God.
Like he oversold himself and he just talked and talked and talked and ran his mouth for like 2 hours. Finally asked me a couple of questions, but by then he had already lost me.
Oh, no.
But that's the thing. Do not oversell yourself. And and this is like the one thing that I told everyone, like do not give your entire life story.
Nope.
At the first date.
Definitely
and that's what
not.
he did. And it was a turnoff for me.
And I noticed too, guys who talk about themselves and they don't ask you questions about yourself, there and then you can see they're narcissistic.
Yeah.
Those are narcissists. And you don't want a narcissist because that's horrible.
And don't try to be funny. This is another thing. Like if you're not a comedian, do not try to be funny just because you're trying to be funny. And that's another thing like with this guy. He was trying to be funny about everything.
Oh,
like, for example, like I'm going to give you an example. If I had said to him, like, this is before we went on the first date where we physically saw each other aside from pictures. We, so if I was on the phone with him and I said, oh, I have to call AT&T. Like I got to call AT&T so I can fix, my daughter's plan to upgrade it because she's went over her minutes.
Yeah.
So I would do that. And then whether if I called him back and I said to him, I was like, I'll call you back. So if I called him back, he would answer the phone. He's like, hello, this is AT&T. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my God, that's weird. It's kind of creepy.
There's little things like that he would do, like anything that I said I was going to do, like he would try to be funny about it like that. Yeah. And I was like, no, that is too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Where can everybody find you, Nikki?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nikki Delano, NIKKIDELANO. My Snapchat is Nikki Delano with 4 X's. And yeah.
And let's go over, you are feature dancing next week.
Yes, September. Oh, my goodness. We're not in September yet. March 17th and 18th at Deja Vu in Lansing, Michigan.
And then in April that you're going to do a one-night appearance at Sapphires in New York, and that's the new Sapphire Club in
That's
Uptown.
Actually the Uptown one. That's been around for a while. I just did recently, a month ago, the new location in Midtown.
Yeah.
So... I mean, Sapphire is so much fun. The Vegas one, the Midtown, the Uptown. It's only one show, but it's the energy, the fans that come out. It's a lot of fun. And it's in New York and Vegas. Yes. I mean, can't beat that.
And you also have your show on at Vivid.
Yes.
The Vivid show at Sirius XM 415. And it's at 1 p.m. Pacific?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
So tomorrow, every Wednesday.
Okay. So everyone listen. And where can they catch like the replays if they miss it on?
Vividradio.com.
Okay, and that's where they have all the archives. And also, I'm sure they could find it at, on Sirius, like archives.
Yes.
They can find everything. Is there anything else that you want to mention before we close out?
No, I mean, I'm always tweeting about everything that I'm doing, and on social media, it's so big now that you guys can just check my social media and see what's going on. I mean, I love what I do. I have my camming contract. You guys can find me on cams.com. Feature dancing on the road if you want to meet me in person, the radio, and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in. We have to definitely do lunch or dinner.
Yeah, have some girls' day, maybe spa day or something.
Oh my God, I would love that. Yeah. It's like I am starting to feel like I need that in my life. I
went to Wee Spa and it was amazing. The massage, I had a deep tissue. It was, oh my God, I went last week.
Oh my God, that sounds so good right now. Especially now, like after last week.
Yeah.
Last week I was bleeding.
What?
It was like bleeding. It was like that time of the month.
Okay, that's me right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, right now.
Oh my God. And I was bleeding and the worst thing about that is not only was I bleeding, but at the same time, like right when, Mother Nature decided to like bless me with, that time of the month.
Yeah.
At the same time, somehow like my body just felt like it was run down and I was like fighting, like a bug. I didn't have a cold, but I was like kind of fighting it. So it was like double whammy.
Oh.
And I was like, I was like, this is terrible. This is not good. Oh. And finally now, like on Sunday, I feel like, oh my God, like, I'm peeking through like the rainbow now. It's like the sun. It's like, hey, it's like, I'm back.
Did you know the week after your, that time of the month, your body is at its peak and you feel so refreshed and your body just went through that metamorphosis, to clean everything out. So the first week after that cycle, your body is at your best.
That explains why I feel the way I feel.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Larry, who's like the president of my fan club, and I was telling him the same thing. And then somebody else, I was saying to them, it's crazy. Like Sunday, all of a sudden I felt like, oh my God, like I feel so much better and I was able to accomplish a lot. And then Monday, like this whole, like the whole week, I'm like, forget it. I've been feeling like really good.
Yeah.
That explains why.
Of course. And then we have that 1 week or a couple days where your hormones are all over the place. And it's like, oh, death.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for coming in. I'm so glad I finally had you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you.
You look good.
Thank you. You too, beautiful.
Thank you. And thank you so much for teaching everyone and me how to use this whip. And thank you, Kurt, for being such a good sport and allowing Nikki to just give it to you.
Oh, yeah, baby. I love it.
I love how he was just standing there. As if like, okay, let me just pretend like everything's okay. I'm not going to pretend like I'm enjoying this.
He loved it. Deep down, he loved it.
He did.
He loved it.
Everyone have a great weekend, and make sure that if you missed any of my shows, you can catch them on elizabeththebarracuda.com under show archives. I post everything. And tweet me, send me your best Throwback Thursdays, and that is it. Have a great weekend, and remember, the tighter the body, the better the ride. Have a good weekend. Bye.
I like it.